So what he tell Janet and James is the room had been fine for a few months. The room was fine. There wasn't anything going on, any weird things. They were renting the room. People were staying in the room. No complaints. Everything was fine up until 3 weeks before they booked. Now, he said 3 weeks before they booked, a family of four. How convenient. A family of four shows up and rents the room, which they had no problem with renting the room, you know what I'm saying, because they hadn't had no issues with the room, so they rented the room to these folks. So they rent the room to this family of four, and they go, the family go up to the room, and the wife says in the middle of the night, she wakes up to her husband not being in the bed. When her and the kids get up to look for the husband, they go into the bathroom, and the husband is hanging in the bathroom, dead. The wife was saying that her husband didn't have anything wrong going on in his life. This was a family vacation. He would have had no reason to take his life. This just don't seem right, and the hotel must have something to do with it. Somebody must have came in the room while we were asleep, attacked my husband, killed him, made it look like he hung himself. The hotel is saying, hell, for all we know, she could have hung him and killed him and put him up there, or he could have hung himself. We don't know. All we know is she woke up in the middle of the night, the man was hanging, and him and his wife and his kids found him. So there was like a big lawsuit going on about this shit because the wife is saying that the hotel is liable because they're saying that somebody came into their room in the middle of the night and attacked her husband and hung him and made it look like suicide. And she knows her husband would not have done something like that because he had everything in the world to live for. Meanwhile, the hotel is saying that we rented the room. There have been several families to rent the room. There was no issues with the room. And that maybe the wife could have killed the husband and the kids not know, and she just wakes up and they all of a sudden wake up and find him at the same time. Or her husband really did have something going on in his life that his wife may not be aware of that made him come to the point of taking his own life. Either way it go, it was it's a whole fucking lawsuit going on about it. So at this point, Janet and her husband is floored. And they're like, so why the fuck are y'all still renting out the room? If y'all know something like this happened just recently, why the fuck are y'all still renting out the room? He was like, well, due to what's going on right now, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we could put in the system, do not rent the room, because if we put that in the system, then it's going to be like, why are we saying just don't rent that room out? It kind of like proves that something was going on with that room for that lady's case, so we can't put it in there. But behind the counter, it's whispered back and forth, don't book that room. So Megan should